Hi, everyone. Welcome to Cyberwitch, your online resource for spiritual development. I'm Orly Stewart. I've been studying spirituality and psychic experiences for almost 20 years, and I'm a student of traditional yoga, and I make videos every week to help your spiritual exploration and journey. So please hit like and subscribe for new videos every week. We're also super close to hitting 30,000 subscribers. Thank you all so much for coming along on this journey with me. I've definitely changed and grown a lot over these past 14 years on YouTube, and I'm really happy and honored to share this growth with you. And today I'm talking about the importance of why now in 2025, developing psychic abilities is actually more important than ever to sincerely help you in your life. And what are the benefits of that, as well as what actually happens to us when we go through the process of spiritual awakening and how that helps our development of psychic abilities as well. So let's get started. What are the benefits of developing psychic skills? The elements of psychic awareness are important now more than ever as the world is shifting into new energetic currents. We have felt this, especially in the growth over the past year, and these shifts continue to grow. And a lot of us can feel that super intensely. And psychic skills are more important now due to the increasing uncertainty of these times and the state of the world. So, having a heightened awareness of energy and a desire for personal empowerment is now more important than ever to people. And we're facing a rapid change and challenges in this world. So, developing intuitive abilities can really offer you guidance, clarity, and a deeper connection to yourself in this world and beyond. So, developing psychic skills will help you in so many different ways. It's not just like one thing or one experience, it's literally an overarching change of the way that your mind works at all times. So, if you're doing something spiritual or praying or doing a ritual or something like that, yeah, you can have psychic experiences during those times. But what I'm talking about is all the time to help you in life in general. So, this is how it helps you. It will give you enhanced intuition, and that also will help you in life to guide your life decisions. A lot of people actually ask me, like, why would you want to develop psychic abilities, and why teaching people how to develop these gifts that you might even already have is so important to me. Because if you're making better decisions in life, you're going to be a lot happier. And then also greater self awareness. And this will help you get deeper insights into your own thoughts and emotions to understand your world and why you're doing the things that you can do. And this goes into the next point, which is emotional healing. So, this facilitates the release of emotional wounds, past traumas that can destroy people's lives because they get entangled in them, and that stops their ability to growth. And so when you develop your psychic skills, it helps you to identify these things. And that, of course, leads to a deeper spiritual connection, which gives you access into higher states of consciousness that helps guide you even further in life. And this leads to improved relationships. So this helps to foster empathy and understanding in your different connections in life with others. And this also helps with sense of purpose. By being aligned with a greater mission or understanding of the universe, it will help you to feel like you have purpose. You are being guided, even if you don't know what that is specifically. When you are in tune with your spiritual self, you know all you have to be doing is whatever is what you're being guided at that time. And that's what it's really about. It's not about some goal to check off a checklist. And this also helps with your healing potential, because you can use your spiritual gifts to help other people with healing in various different ways. Like, even if you are psychically getting to understand someone better, but then taking that further, our different energetic forces, our pranic forces of energy, have different manifestations, and that can also be used to help heal people in different spiritual practice. And then protection and guidance. So your psychic abilities help you find protection as well as a direction in what you're doing. And that also shifts your perspective in life and increases your creativity, because it is our purpose to live our unique expressions of life to help us grow and evolve. And when we are tapped into that creativity, it is really what helps guide us. So if you would like to learn more about how to develop your own psychic abilities, or have some more detailed classes in things like meditation, for example, that give you time away from the mundane trappings of the modern world that is full of distractions. So you can learn different skills on how to develop your psychic abilities, as well as these are the kind of things that I learn on how to help people in my training as a yoga teacher. But I do also have some online classes that myself and also Vermilion put together that I've linked down below as resources for you if you would like some practical classes. I have my Tarot Magic video course that teaches you to develop psychic abilities using the tarot. And then we also have our occult meditation workshop video course that teaches you how to access the spirit realm within you. So definitely check out that stuff linked below. People develop their psychic skills and it will cause a spiritual awakening, or a spiritual awakening can happen to you, and that can activate your psychic awareness in some kind of way. Psychic awareness can manifest in so many different forms. So some people might have visions, some people might have other kind of sensations, or hear some kind of message, or it might be something that's more tactile. It really can depend on your own unique experience and how your connection to the universal cosmic mind is able to decipher it and understand it. And experiences that we have in life can make these psychic gifts just start happening more to us without us even having to do anything. And when this does happen, it reminds us that it's real, and then we can do things to help train those skills further to develop them and make them stronger. And having a spiritual awakening, though, is by any means no easy thing at all. It is a huge wake up in your life where you do not look at your life in the same way. And it usually coincides with really big shifts in life. So the whole world, like I said, has been going through a gigantic spiritual awakening over the past year. So you yourself may have had a big shift in life. If you would like to share that with us, feel free to let us know about that in the comments. And we can train ourselves to develop our psychic skills, especially when we go through these big shifts that invigorate them, as it were. So that's something that I really focus on in my training, in my yoga classes. But these shifts empower us in life and are priceless periods of evolution in our personal stories here on Earth. And I think there's a misconception that people can only go through one spiritual awakening. I know that's what I had thought, But that's not true. You can go through many different spiritual awakenings through your life. And so everyone who is able to raise themselves to the frequency of these changes that have been flowing in has been going through a spiritual awakening over this past year, and it's going to continue. And a big part of what we're supposed to do is exactly what the light of Lucifer was guiding us to do, which is to see the truth in things, to open our eyes, to see the message, to see for yourself what is truly evil, what is truly good, and to use that discernment to make those judgments for yourself. So this is super important, and I am so grateful to Lucifer for helping me in my journey and for helping to guide me and light the way, and for helping all the people that are truly of the light, even though we are lost in this darkness of Maya, in the existence of this world. This is samsara, a world of suffering. We are in the darkness, and we're all finding our way in the light. And it's very hard for us because we see corruption in so many things that are supposed to be good in the world, and we're told that it is, but then we see behind it and we know what's going on, and we're just looking for that true light to guide our way. And Lucifer has helped me just so much with that. And that's a huge aspect of why I feel it's so important to share these messages with you from him. And so awakening is not always a smooth and linear process. It can involve periods of uncertainty, confusion, inner turmoil, as you shed layers of your old self. And what happens is you move into a more authentic version of yourself and an awakened state to have freedom and deeper experiences in life. And now what I'm going to do is tell you about what happens when you start going through the process of spiritual awakening. So maybe you went through a spiritual awakening before and it didn't have all these different type of things. So this is something to look out for, because you might not even realize that you have some of these things happening to you. When you're going through a spiritual awakening, one of the first and most noticeable signs is a change in your sleep patterns or dreams. So spiritual awakening can sometimes affect your sleep patterns. You might experience vivid dreams, lucid dreamings, or even wake up at unusual times. Having spiritual moments or visions come into your mind in the liminal spaces between being awake and sleeping is also very important in my own personal experiences and research. I've had a lot of things like, for example, past life memories come through at this time, or things like contact from spirits of the dead that are contacting me and giving me a message. And I've had this happen many times. And it can be the most profound things that happen. They can even come into your mind and give you a memory, even a memory of something that happened in your own life with them in the past. Just a few days ago, I was having some really profound synchronicities, which I'll get into later in this video. But I was really musing on that and just feeling so inspired. And that morning, as I was laying there, and I had this memory come back to me of my grandmother, who was from Malta, and she was really into this idea that she was going to pass away, even though she did end up living for like way longer, like probably even decades after this happened. And I was just a little kid. And I spent most of my time in my childhood being raised by her because my brother had a lot of medical problems and my parents were busy. So she really loved me. And she was like, Orly, I'm going to die. I want to give you my bracelet. And she goes to her wrist and then she had this gold bracelet of iron crosses. The iron cross is the symbol of Malta, and she took it off of her wrist. And I just remember like the impression, that imprint of those red iron crosses in her skin as a child, and then her handing that bracelet to me. And I don't know what actually ended up happening with that, but there is so much to get from this vision, because the idea is like spirits communicate to us in metaphors. What is this about? An impression, a memory. These are like our imprints on reality. And so you can just take things like that and meditate on it and what the significance of this is, because a huge part of what I do in my work is I'm trying to help share things that will give you an imprint, that will give you some kind of mental stimulation to help you think for yourself and to help you to shed the patterns that society has set up to try to distract you from your spiritual nature through all this stuff from the media that just makes people super lazy, for the lack of a better way of saying it. It's like it makes people just lazy and not able to get into these really profound ways of thinking about the world that will actually make you happier and give you better abilities to help people and help the world and help yourself as much as you possibly can. And so paying attention to these things like our dreams and these moments in those liminal times between wake and sleeping and our change in sleep patterns is a huge sign of spiritual awakening. And then another sign is increased self-awareness and noticing how energy from other people and environments affects you. So this is a big one. So you may begin to question who you truly are and why you're here, and getting a deeper understanding of your own thoughts, your emotions, your behaviors, and then your own self-awareness and how you're feeling. And this will lead to a shift in your mental perspective and why you're doing the things you're doing in life. And when you are doing that, you'll notice, hey, how does my interaction with this other energy body, this other person, this other environment actually affect me and make me feel? What is going on here? You can look at situations from a greater perspective and what is actually going on from an energetic level, and use that to help your own personal healing and your drive in the world. Because one of the things even that the yogis teach in the text is the energy of us is deeply affected by the energy of everyone around us that we associate with. So this also leads to when we're going through a spiritual awakening, a releasing of old patterns. So that could be releasing of old connections with people, old behaviors. You just don't feel like doing things that you used to do before. You get a deeper perspective and understand things in a more intelligent way about situations, and you change the way you feel about them. This, of course, will cause a change and shift in your mind, because when you change the patterns of your mind, it will change the patterns of your life. And when you're changing your mind patterns to being open to things, when you're going through a spiritual awakening and being more aware and awakened in the world, instead of just being a passive force, slumping yourself through day by day, drudging through the day without paying attention to like, what is the significance of this? What does that mean? Like actually looking at things from a greater perspective instead of everything at just the emotional or face value, you'll notice things like synchronicities. And that's something that spiritualists talk about all the time, right? So this is like a coincidence. It's something that points you in the right direction. So these events feel meaningful and often feel like signs or messages from the universe. This is the living universe or spirits communicating to you. And so the example I wanted to give is just the other day, Vermilion and I were doing our weekly live stream on this channel, and we were talking about spiritual experiences that really inspired us. I brought up seeing a dove on my windowsill when I was a teenager and I first started learning about how everything was connected. And then the very next day, in our yard, the tree in the winter here, full of snow, every freaking dove in this small town was in our tree. I thought that was just like the most beautiful thing, because not only was it like one dove for the living universe to be like, hey, I saw you guys talk about the dove symbolism to you. And he actually brought up something about doves in his past as well in the stream. You can check it out. But then the next day, our tree was full of doves. There was like, I think like 24 or 27 doves in the tree. It was absolutely wild, like, because it has snowed, and they weren't used to that. So every dove was in our tree the next day. And those are the kind of synchronicities where it's the universe just kind of being like, I see you. Keep going. We see you. You're doing the right thing. Here's a tree full of doves. So following the syncs helps you to make meaningful changes in life. So this doesn't mean like I'm supposed to literally follow these doves and where they go, okay? Or that there's something about that particular tree. And this is often where people get confused about synchronicities. The idea is like, what events in life caused you to think about and caused this synchronicity to happen? If it's good, then keep doing that. That's the idea. It's not about like necessarily the literal thing, but then of course we can look at the deep and beautiful symbolism of doves as well. So it will give you inspiration from the cosmic mind flowing through you because you're listening. And then another sign of spiritual awakening is emotional healing. So old emotional wounds may surface, leading to intense emotions in sadness, anger, or grief. And this is often part of the healing process and releasing what no longer serves you. It also will cause you to develop a deeper connection with nature. And this can be really profound and also is part of healing, because everything is connected to nature and the collective energy of the world. And this will help you to understand how energy is shared. And then the final thing that you'll notice is physical, tangible sensations and experiences. So things like tingling heat, scents like roses or tobacco, or sensing energy moving through your body. And you can learn to work with the flow of energy and your own energy in spiritual practice. That's something that I do in my studies of Tantra and yoga. And so you can check out all the other videos on this channel. If you've experienced other things happen to you from having a spiritual awakening that you want to share with everyone, please leave that in the comments to create a dialogue of your experiences. And if you would like further help in developing your psychic abilities, and if you want spiritual counseling or coaching from me, you can find all the links to that stuff and all my resources in the description of this video. You can find my tarot magic video course that teaches you how to read with any deck and work with the cards in your spiritual practice, and also our occult meditation workshop video course is linked in the description of this video for you. Thank you so much to the channel members and to my patrons. I love all of you so, so much and appreciate all your support. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already and hit like to help the algorithm, and I'll see you next time. Bye.